Alright, so today we are going to cover the lesson titled Packing and Unpacking. Let's get started. So this concept is going to deal with making variables. So over the course of our class, we have made lots and lots of variables over lots and lots of coding projects. So for those of you who need a refresher, hopefully none of you do, but here's me making three variables. I'm making x, y, and z with the values 1, 5, and 10. Easy. We learned this on day 1. So similarly to what we kind of learned last class with list comprehensions and operation stacking, we're going to compress these 3 lines of code into 1 line of code. We can do that by saying x, y, and z, x, y, z, is going to equal 1, 5, 10. We're going to assign these 3 values to these 3 variables in the order that they're written. So 1 is going to go to x, 5 is going to go to y, 10 is going to go to z, because that's the order each of those 2 sides of the equal sign is written in. You can also use a list to assign a value to multiple variables on one line. So if I have the variable myList equaling this and my and list stored in a list, I can save 3 variables, 1, 2, and 3, to equal the values stored in my list. And this process is called unpacking the list. Now, when you are unpacking, you need to have the same number of variables as elements in the list. So you need to have, if you have 3 elements, you need 3 variables. If you have 5 elements, you need 5 variables, and so on. You will get a value error if the number of variables you're making and elements in the list don't match. So if you have too many variables that you're trying to make, so I have 3 values, trying to make 4 variables, I will get an error that reads, I need more than 3 values to unpack. So I have 3, I need more than 3 to properly unpack into this many variables. If I have too many values in my list, I'm trying to unpack into fewer variables than I have values, I will get the value error, too many values to unpack. So I have too much stuff to put into that many variables. So you need to just make sure you're unpacking the same number of elements into the same number of variables. Let's say that we want to use the values stored inside of a list to fill multiple parameters in a function. So let's say my function is myfunc, and it takes 3 parameters, x, y, and z. And what it's going to do is going to print the sum of those 3 values. And let's say my list is equal to list 1, 2, 3. And what happens if I call my function, myfunc, with myList as a parameter? Well, I get an error. It's going to give me a type error saying my function, myfunc, takes 3 arguments, 3 parameters, x, y, and z. And I've only given 1 parameter. I gave the parameter myList. It's a 1 variable. It has 3 variables or 3 values inside of it, but myList itself is 1 value. So the way that I can fix this issue is I can add a little asterisk before the name of my list variable. So if I say myfunc and the parameter is asterisk myList, it's going to unpack the values in that list into the 3 parameters in my function. And the rules here are the same as unpacking regularly. You need to have the same number of parameters in your function as you have elements in your list. Otherwise, you'll get those same errors as I showed on the previous slide. So anytime we have an operation, we usually have the inverse of that operation. So we are allowed to do the inverse of the unpacking operation, which is, shockingly, called packing a list. And here's how that is going to look. We can make 3 variables. I'm going to call them x, y, and z. I'm going to give them the values 1, 2, and 3. And I can pack those variables into a list by just putting their names inside of square brackets. My list is going to equal the list with the values of x, y, and z stored inside of it. Super easy. Now there's some special cases where changing the list will also change a variable that was packed into that list, and where changing the variable packed into it will change the list. So if I pack integers, let's see if that is one of the cases. So I have my same xyz as 1, 2, 3, packing xyz into my list. Now if I change x to equal 5, and I print my list, I will see 1, 2, 3. So integers, changing one of the values that was packed into the list doesn't change the list. Let's see if changing the list changes the variable that was packed in there. So my list at index 0 equals 9. So x was packed in at index 0. So does printing x give us 9? No, it still gives us 5 from here. So there's no change in either direction. All right, let's look at strings. Let's say my x, y, and z are now a, b, and c. I pack x, y, and z into my list. If I change x to equal d, does that change my list? It does not. So strings will not change the list if I change the variable that was packed into it. How about if I change the list at that index? Will the variable packed into that position change? Once again, I see no change in either direction. And lastly, let's look at packing lists into a list. So if my x, y, and z are the lists 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and I pack those 3 lists into my list, then I have a list of lists. I have a 2-dimensional list here. If I change x at index 0 to equal 7, that will change the contents of my list. So when I've packed a list into another list, changing the variable that was packed in will change the overall list. If I change x as a whole, if I completely change x to 7, 8, and I print my list again, my list has not changed. I've completely overwritten that list, but it's not going to affect the contents of my list. Only when I change a specific value within that list is it going to change. And then lastly, let's look at if I change my list at index 0, so that's where I packed x in. If I change that list at index 0 to 9, does that change x? It does. So when I pack a list into a list, changing one will change the other. Or changing the contents of one will change the contents of the other. Now this is just an interesting edge case that you should just be aware of in case you ever want to pack a list into another list. And one last application of unpacking is that we can use it to return multiple values out of a single function. So let's say my function is called multi-return. Let's come back to it after we look at what happens in the global area. I'm going to make 3 variables, a, b, and c, with the values 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to say d, e, and f are all going to equal what multi-return returns when I pass it a, b, and c. So multi-return has to return multiple values. So let's read through multi-return now. Multi-return takes 3 parameters. It's going to call them x, y, and z. It's going to add 10 to x, subtract 5 from y, and it's going to turn z into a single element list. We're going to pack it into a list and save it back into itself. So then we're going to return 3 values. So in the exact same way as assigning 3 values to 3 variables, the 3 values we're returning are going to get placed in order. So the value in x is going to get saved into D, the value in y is going to get saved into E, the value in z is going to get saved into F. If I pack D, E, and F into a list here, into my list, and I print my list, let's look at how it changed. 1 got fed into x, so 1 plus 10 is 11. 2 got fed through B into y, so y we lost 5, so 2 minus 5 is -3. And 3 went through C into Z. I turned it into a single element list. So here in my output, it is a single element list. We have our 3 values all in a list together. And there we go. And that is how returning multiple values out of a single function works.